Bewildered. Bewildered is the only word I can use to describe what I just witnessed. So, I went, all right, I'm going to watch one of the early games. I want to see how Cleveland does. Cleveland is being talked about as being a contender. This is a team that was 7-8-1 last year, but boy, they're going to be great. Now, being at home against Tennessee, who were 9-7 last year, and with Mariota as their quarterback, they're not a pushover. But the feeling was, Cleveland's going to win this. Cleveland's on their way. Now, based on how the crowd looked stunned in Cleveland with what was going on today, I thought, you know what, I want to do a video on this. 43-13 is the current score. There's barely a minute left now. I don't see a comeback happening. Score 43-13. My God. But when you look at first downs, Tennessee with 22 and Cleveland with 21. Passing first downs, it's 13-9 in favor of Cleveland. Rushing first down, it's 6-4 in favor of Tennessee. So they've earned 17 first downs for Cleveland and 15 for Tennessee. Why is Cleveland getting killed? Because there were 7 first downs earned by Tennessee on penalties and 4 for Cleveland earned on penalties. And when you look at the overall yardage, third down, Tennessee goes 2 for 10 today and Cleveland goes 1 for 10. I would not say Tennessee had a great offensive day, and yet we're going to look at this score, and people are going to look at this and go, wow, Tennessee just clobbered Cleveland. Cleveland clobbered themselves. As I'm recording this, the current penalties show is 181 yards for Cleveland. The most penalties they've taken since Bill Belichick was their coach. And it's 100 and... Nope, not even. The penalties are 54 yards. 6 penalties, 54 yards for Tennessee. 18 penalties for Cleveland. And it was getting to the point where Cleveland takes a penalty and the announcers say, well, it was 5 or 6 plays since their last one, so they were due. Ouch. And that's what kills them. So this game we're going to look back at and say, wow, the final score of 43-13 or wherever it's going to end up, it's probably going to end up about that. Probably that's going to be it. And people are going to look at that and go, wow, Tennessee went in and just played a great game. They did, but they kind of allowed Cleveland to implode in the first half. And then in the second half, it became an absolute nightmare. Mariota with 248 yards passing, a little bit... It's a little bit deceptive because 75 yards of that were on the pass to Henry that he might have thrown the ball 2 yards and then Henry ran for 75. Henry with a fantastic game today. 75 yards receiving. And there it is, 84 yards rushing. So absolutely fantastic game for him. He was their MVP. Touchdown on the ground and another one through the air, even though he ran that 75 yards. So it kind of looked like a touchdown on the ground. And again, this is a team in Tennessee that's not a pushover, but the expectation was Cleveland's in for a great year. Here we go. And all I kept thinking was, but they're Cleveland. And it's that thing that gets stuck in my head that I wear my Chargers stuff right now because for years, every time the Chargers get close, I go, man, this looks like it should be a good... we're the Chargers. The Chargers, this happens all the time. And so, I kind of feel coming out of today's game for Cleveland like, this is Cleveland. Now, I could have done this with Miami getting absolutely destroyed today, but Miami getting destroyed happens regularly. And I don't think Miami was expected to be a playoff team or all that great. Now, there's over-analysis that's going to happen with this. I think with Cleveland, this is a timing issue. There were a lot of holds. Holy crap, there were so many holds, and you can't have that. And I'm pretty good at saying, I'm pretty good at calling it that when I see a play and I see a flag, I go, holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down, repeat third down, whatever it is. And in this case, today, they even took holding as a defense. You don't see that very often where the defense gets called for holding. And they all looked like good calls. There were a couple where they got the wrong lineman, where they gave the flag to the wrong lineman. But they were all pretty good calls. So for Cleveland, they've got to clean that up. If they had had a clean first half, if they hadn't been taking so many penalties to keep driving their team backwards, who knows? We might be talking about Cleveland and Tennessee in this really good, tight, low-scoring game, but instead Tennessee just blasted them. And by the end of this game, the Cleveland defense looked weaker, but part of that may have been the fact that every time they went on the field, they took a penalty. So I think it makes you a little bit more nervous and a little bit less likely to really push and be aggressive. We'll see how it turns out. It's only week 1. So here's the question for you guys. If you're a Cleveland fan, does this feel like, and I say this as a fan of the Chargers who are now in LA, but as a fan who followed them in San Diego for decades, does this kind of feel like, oh, not again? Not again. Come on, this is supposed to be different. Or do you look at this and go, good learning experience, they'll be fine. And again, if they didn't take all those bloody penalties in the first half, I think 120 yards of that was in the first half. They didn't take all those penalties, I think they would have been in pretty good shape. They scored a touchdown on their first drive, and they look good, and then all of a sudden, it's the flag extravaganza that it became, and there you end up. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always, and I'm going to aim to do one a week of these, where the NFL, where I'll talk about like maybe one game, one play, one event in the NFL every week. As we get into hockey season, I won't have very much time for this, so I will aim to, that's my aim, is one a week. And then, of course, the other entertainment stuff, whether it's Big Brother or whatever else it is, have that interspersed on this channel of entertainment that I'm very thankful to you guys has got close to 9,000 subscribers. Close. It's not quite there, so if you hit like and subscribe, you're getting me that much closer. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and do hit like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.